amazing. All it really takes is for the weather pattern to start to change and a ridge breaking down in the eastern states, and we suddenly went from an absolutely calm satellite view to what we have this evening across much of the eastern part of the United States, or at least most places east of the Mississippi River. This is sort of the classic look of a strong upper air system, and whenever you see that comma shape in the atmosphere, whenever you see a signature on the satellite and on the radar that's shaped like a comma, that's telling you that you've got this, very, very strong system in the high layers of the atmosphere, and we are dealing with a weather front and some very, very warm tropical air that's coming in from the south-southeast, so that's sort of feeding into all this. And as a result, we've seen a severe weather outbreak today across much of western South Carolina, western North Carolina, up into the panhandle of Virginia, and even into southern West Virginia with some heavy downpours and even some tornadic activity. And this is all destined to move for the northeast as we go through the next 24 hours. But one of the things you want to look at in terms of the upper air, when you've got an upper air jet stream pattern where we have basically a negative, what we call the negatively tilted trough, okay? In other words, the axis of that trough is running from the northwest to the southeast. It means that the weather front that's associated with this is going to be very, very slow moving, because the winds along the east coast are basically going to be coming up from the south. So the weather front is going to have a difficult time making eastward progress until this thing kind of lifts up and around. So it may take all of Tuesday and part of Wednesday to get this front to completely clear the coastline. It's just it's the way it works when you have a trough like this versus, for example, if the trough were more like this, okay, where the upper flow is pushing everything along. This is where you get these weather fronts that just kind of move on through. But again, it's that negatively tilt. This is a positively tilted trough, northeast to southwest. This is progression. Weather systems progress west to east. The other way, they lift up from south to north. And then that's the dilemma here with regards to the forecast. Now, here's the radar for this evening, and you can see there's some strong thunderstorms. This is quite an impressive little line here moving across western South Carolina into parts of North Carolina. That's the view from the southeast part of the U.S. When we look into the northeast, the showers, some heavier showers that are running up through West Virginia and parts of western Pennsylvania, again, not making a whole lot of eastward progress here. I'll go south, and they're out of the Gulf states. Let's see if we can run it by into the Ohio Valley and Great Lakes. And you can see here, you've got actually a fairly strong concentration of rain up in through Michigan and Indiana. And then you start to get into that frontal boundary with the cold front. And of course, you see that signature again, that comma shape, always telling you that there is a power here in the atmosphere.